Welcome to another episode of The Brand Called You, a podcast and podcast show that brings you leadership lessons, knowledge, experience, and wisdom from thousands of successful individuals from around the world. I'm your host, Ashutosh Garg, and today I'm delighted to welcome for a second time a very senior and respected leader and entrepreneur from Jaipur, India, Mr. Mahavir Sharma. Mahavir, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ashutosh. Always a pleasure to be on your show.
Thank you. Mahavir is the past chair of TIE Global. He's the convener of the 10th TIE Global Summit, TGS. He's the chairman of the Rajasthan Angel Innovators Network, and he's the past chairman of the Carpet Export Promotion Council. So, Mahavir, my first question for you. You've been an entrepreneur across carpets, jewelry, marketing, branding, and now investing. How do you describe your entrepreneurial journey across these diverse sectors?
I don't think entrepreneurship is subjective to any sector. I think
Correct.
entrepreneurship is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is innovation. Entrepreneurship is working hard, continuously developing new ideas, new things, new strategies,
Hmm.
and scaling up and making money. And I think I have done that across sectors, and it has given me a sense of challenges and experiences across all these sectors. So I think it's basically the same thing. Even while investing, I'm thinking of making money. Even I'm validating other people's ideas based upon my experience as an entrepreneur. So I think everything helps, and a journey of anyone's life, including mine, is absolutely one learning to the other, one setback to one triumph, and then
Hmm.
to other challenges. So I think it's a mix of good, bad, great, and not so great.
Very interesting. And what were some early influences or formative experiences that shaped your approach to business and leadership?
See, obviously, when I was a child, I used to observe my mother. The one she started the carpet business, and I was a very good observer, still am. And I think I learned a lot from her, how to say words or communicate with firmness, with poise, yet convey the message. Be very, very honest to yourself, to your business, to your people, to your customers, and your communications will come with passion and from within the heart. Also, keeping quiet when it is required, and also always continuing to have your mind running at 100 miles an hour,
Yeah.
thinking what to do next. So I think that, and still stay calm and poised on the top, is something that I've learned from her. So that's early. Then obviously my life took me to the US first, and early 90s, late 80s, India's way of doing business and US's way was totally different.
Yeah.
We'll do, Indians were to promise everything. Time was not of an essence, but I think US taught me a lot of punctuality, a lot of commitment, a lot of showed me the world and the market, and told me how to communicate. And I think those 6 years were very formidable years in my life.
Hmm.
And bringing all those learnings, that childhood observation and character building, combined with various countries that I have traveled because of my exports, actually brought me to where I am today. So I
Hmm.
think those were the early
Very
experiences.
interesting. And you have balanced entrepreneurship, philanthropy, and industry leadership. What personal values have guided your choices over 3.5 decades?
See, I think if as an entrepreneur, you are a philanthropist. You are creating jobs, you're
Correct.
putting in money, and that's very critical. And I realized that soon, that I can only do so much as money that I can make. The more money I make, the more people I help.
Hmm.
And for me, it's not about donating money, but making them able and capable is what we thought. So I think
Hmm.
that thought has always played in my mind. So even when I was helping a community that's a folk artist, or the cultural or industry, early 2000s, I thought that making them able and stronger is far better. So thinking of marketing, branding, putting them on stage, giving them a platform, teaching them how to conduct themselves, was something that was always on my mind. Even
Hmm.
now, when I do any kind of philanthropy or organization leadership, it's not about what I can do and how an organization can benefit, but to make people around me capable, so that something that an organization is started for continues to do in perpetuity. Because see, sustainability is not just about environment or climate.
Mm.
Sustainability was financial sustainability.
Yeah.
You can't run a not-for-profit without funding. You
Mm.
can't not always depend on funding from CSR or governments and other
Mm.
funds. You have to make a sustainable model
Right.
where the administrative team, the delivery team, the operations team continues to work and scale and grow and reach out to more people. So I think
Mm.
that's my philosophy, whether it's a business, whether it's a non-for-profit, or whether it's an organization. So I think that is where
Mm.
that undercurrent of commonality flows.
What a great response. Thank you. So, Mavi, we're going to talk about two different subjects today, both of which are your passion areas. One is early stage investing, and the second is Thai global and Thai leadership. Let's talk about early stage angel investing, and you're the chair of the Rajasthan Angel Innovators Network. What is your core philosophy when it comes to evaluating very early stage founders?
I think the core philosophy, pretty much across at that stage, is looking at the founders and their ability to do something.
Mm.
I think if the team or the co-founders are able and capable, they'll make a business out of it. Obviously, sometimes or most of the times, we see kids coming to us with billions of ideas. Now, once their passion, their energy might be there, but if their idea is not workable or not sustainable, or is very crowded, or for whatever other reasons, it is
Mm.
our job to also validate that idea. So a
Yeah.
combination of what they are doing, whether the product, the service, the timing, the competition
Mm.
is right or not, and then seeing their ability is what I do. So the team is important, but it comes after the validation of an idea,
Mm. Mm.
because it's very critical, to have that validated first. So I think
Very interesting.
those are the things that I look at an early stage. Obviously, once I have the team and the idea validated, in my opinion, then of course all the numbers, the
Correct.
profitability, the cost of goods, everything else that
Correct.
follows through, because then that's
Mm.
mathematics. But the
Absolutely.
core judgment on what is going to work and whether it is going to be delivered by this team or not are the two most critical things.
Very interesting. But many investors also say they bet on the founder. What specific traits do you look for before investing?
So obviously, I look at the founder's ability, the
Mm.
knowledge,
Correct.
domain knowledge of the sector that he or she is trying to
Mm.
resolve. I also look at his or her character. I think it's very important that they come with strong values, because, as you know, early stage is the most riskiest stage of
Correct.
investment,
Mm.
and if they don't see their life going 5 years or 10 years down the line in that
Mm.
sector, it doesn't make sense, because if they're there for just for valuation and for money and
Mm.
not being able to deliver, it doesn't work. So I think a lot of
Yeah.
character, I test them on multiple levels, argue with them, debate with
Mm.
them, come up
Mm.
with irrelevant, illogical
Yeah.
questions to see how they respond.
Mm.
Even try to antagonize them or test their patience for that matter. Because
Mm.
fundraising is a perpetual exercise that one has to do. So they should be, able to do that. So I think
Mm.
I do a lot of character, you know, kind of
Mm.
establishment in terms of
Mm.
how they are and how they can conduct themselves.
Yeah.
Also, if they work together in synergy, is there complementing skills that they have, and also, obviously, are they hardworking enough,
Mm.
or will they be able to deliver? So all
Mm.
those things combined is what
Yeah.
we've become, psychologists, if I may, because
Correct.
this is a very very tough sector or domain to be in.
Mm. The other thing I wanted to get your perspective on was that tier two and tier three cities are throwing up some incredible founders and they're becoming big innovation hubs. What unique strengths do you see in the real Bharat founders?
So, Ashutosh, I've been a very strong proponent of tier two and tier three
Yeah.
India. I've always challenged, the last 10 years,
Mm.
the extra advantage that the metros, or large institutions get on valuation,
Mm.
or the funding that they get and others don't get funding. I think funding should be agnostic of where a startup is based out of. I think funding should be more on the idea and the team, and the character of the team. I think every startup in Bangalore will not succeed. But I think
Correct.
it's very important. But I've also seen that underdogs have always, when your back's against the wall, and you don't have many other options, and you're not spoiled for choice in terms of funding or in
Mm,
terms of scaling up, you are much more hardworking. And I'm coming from Jaipur and having succeeded and still never moved out of Jaipur, despite I could have been in the US
mm.
or any other country for that
Yeah.
matter. It's very important that you look at quality of life, you look at cost of operations of your business, and
Mm,
also the fact that you have to compete with the world. So you need to have some extra skill or
yeah.
extra drive or extra hard work
Mm,
that you might have to put in. So I think that ability comes from tier two, tier three in Bharat. And I think the
mm.
future of India's startup success story does not lie with just four cities or three cities
Correct. Correct.
dominating, because it's not right. If it's spread out across India, entrepreneurship will flourish, funding will flow in, startups will flourish, jobs will be
Mm.
created, and we will not choke our large cities, which is also a challenge, in my opinion, at this
Absolutely.
point in time.
Absolutely. Great response. And Mahavir, what are some of the biggest myths that you have encountered that early stage founders have about raising angel or seed funding?
Oh, they come. I mean, there are multiple myths. They think raising money is very easy. They think an idea stage company should have been invested. They think their idea is the best idea,
Correct.
or
Correct.
they think their way of doing that idea, despite competition, is the best. Then they come up with a chart where everything is tick marked on what they are doing, and they're few tick marks on other competition slides, and they don't realize that what the others are not doing is not required, because it's a cost which is not benefiting the company at all, and that's not
Mm.
something. So multiple
Yeah.
challenges these kids
Mm.
have. They have to be. I think at early stage, a lot of hand holding and mentoring is required, and
Mm.
that's why organizations like TIE or many incubation centers now,
Yeah.
or colleges that have incubation centers in the last 8-10 years since government started
Yeah.
the startup policies. I think these are playing a very critical role
Absolutely.
to put them to reality, that this is fine, but do you really need to have 1,000 SKUs, and can you just do
Mm.
with 10 SKUs? Because you
Correct.
will make revenue out of 10 and
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
990, and just saying that you have that and they don't have that does not give you any advantage. So all those things,
Absolutely. Yeah.
valuation is another thing that they come up with absurd numbers, because they were told to do so, because they have no idea that every sector, every stage, every business, every co-founders have different valuations. They can't
Mm.
always, and even an investor, a non-experienced investor would have a higher valuation, but if you get a good cap on a cap table, he or she deserves a better value. So
Mm.
multiple things
Mm.
actually.
Mm. Amazing. One more question, and then we'll move to Ty. If you were to give three pieces of advice to young founders starting today, what would it be?
First and foremost, know what you want. Clarity in your thought process. What is it that you want to do?
Mm.
You want
Mm.
to be an entrepreneur? Focus on problems and
Yeah.
find solutions and do that. If you're
Mm.
not clear, if you're not confident and clear about your direction
Yeah.
that you want to go, that's one advice. Second, always be realistic and know your shortcomings and your strengths. You have to
Mm.
do a self analysis and know what your strengths are.
Mm.
Find co founders or teammates or employees that can complement your shortcomings. Don't fight what you don't have.
Mm.
Use what you
Mm.
have and
Yeah.
optimize on that. Be realistic. And lastly, of course, journey of an entrepreneur is a very tough journey. Always have a backup plan.
Mm.
While putting your 100% or 200% is important for a year or two, but if it doesn't work, don't kill yourselves. Go back to your backup plan so that you
Mm.
can come back again with much larger experience and force 2 3 years down the line.
Mm. Wow. Three amazing pieces of advice. And just to repeat, clarity, know what you want, be realistic about uh, who you are and what you want to be. And third one, have a backup plan and pivot if you have to. Thank you. Mavi, let's now come to your other area, which you're so well known and respected for, which is Thai. Thai has evolved significantly since its inception. How would you describe the impact of Thai on global entrepreneurship?
See, I think TIE is a great organization,
Yeah.
not because just of the impact, but because it's being driven by entrepreneurs like us.
Correct.
It's a volunteer-driven organization.
Yeah.
None of us are paid.
Correct.
None of us are paid for travel, stay. We put in our own money, time, and
Yeah.
effort
Mm,
because we believe that creating more and more entrepreneurs, more and more startups will be good for the ecosystem and we'll
mm,
sooner or later benefit. So I think
mm,
that giving back attitude is unmatched.
mm.
In anyone asks what Thai can give them, definitely don't deserve to be in Thai. So I
Correct.
think the gain is the knowledge, the network, the strength, and the collective wisdom. That's one. Secondly, I think over the years, 34 years now, since 1992.
Mm,
Thai has grown across cities, across countries with the same force. Leaderships have evolved, priorities have changed. Or late 90s, Thai was fighting or asking the government to have the telecom sector freed. There we go. Now we're looking at creating jobs and creating entrepreneurs and creating 1 million entrepreneurs, 10 million jobs, 100 million revenue for India. We're trying to push that as a focus.
mm,
In late 2018-19, we thought early stage, idea stage companies don't get funded. So we launched the Thai India Angels, where we can mentor, handhold, and invest.
mm.
Gyan is easy, but investing, putting your money where your Gyan is, we did that. We realized that there is a shortage of or a lack of women in the startup ecosystem or the board sector. So we launched the Thai Women in
Mm,
2018-19. So
mm.
multiple things that
Yeah.
we've started to do over the years, and it'll continue to evolve when we feel the need to be. But working at the bottom of the pyramid has been always the critical thing. So whether it
Correct.
was working at the grassroots policy level, a larger level, whether it's working at schools and colleges and entrepreneurship, whether it's working at startups at early stage and not late stage. So all those things are very, very close to Ty's heart, I think.
Mm, mm. Amazing. And I completely agree with what you're saying. I've been a Thai Charter member for God knows how many years. But moving on, Mahavir, you're the convener for the 10th Thai Global Summit in Jaipur this in 2026. What is the vision behind this year's summit?
So, connecting what TI can do, connecting what tier two, tier three can do. And I always wanted Jaipur to be the first tier two city that the TI Global Summit to be
Mm,
happening.
mm,
This is the 10th TI Global Summit, 4th to 6th of January. It's
mm,
happened in Delhi, Bombay, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Dubai, and Singapore. First time ever in a tier two city. And realizing this a little over a year ago, I thought that we cannot do it in a tier two city because all corporates, all big sponsors sit in these big cities and they don't see the potential that Jaipur can probably offer. So a government support was very, very critical. So we went out of the Rajasthan government, and the
mm,
Rajasthan government was very, very encouraging.
mm,
They'd just come into power. They did want to do a larger impact on investment, and I think partnering with the state government of Rajasthan and them supporting us as a DigiFest and Thai Global Summit combination and funding us initially was very, very critical. So I think with the government on our side, funding secured, and the fact that we could do that, we pitched, and there we have Jaipur. So I think I wanted to convey that the startup ecosystem or the investment ecosystem should move out of the metros. It should go to Chandigarhs and Jaipurs and
yeah.
Indores and Bhubaneswars of India. That's one. Secondly, I wanted to tell everyone that Jaipur has, or any other city has, the right bandwidth to conduct a summit of global level. We've had, the best tourism, best hospitality city. We have lots of infrastructure in terms of venues, hotels, etc., etc. Connectivity is very good, and I think if we can do a 10,000 people summit here, you can run your business very well here. And so and for the record, we have the largest number of charter members signed up to be in Jaipur. We have
Mm,
almost touching 1,000 charter members,
wow.
which is the highest ever. So I think it's going to be a great summit, proving a point that tier two, tier three, India or Bharat is ready. It is not only ready in terms of doing a summit, but to be hosting startups and angel investors and VCs to come and invest.
Mm,
Also, sustainability, which is the future that the world is looking towards, from solar to EV to data centers.
mm,
I think Rajasthan, with its surplus power, surplus land, we can actually work with entrepreneurs and become an investable state. So I think
Mm.
that message combined, and government of Rajasthan wanting to welcome everyone that's coming here
Yeah,
will absolutely be great.
absolutely. Two more questions for you. What makes TGS a must attend platform for founders, investors, and innovation leaders? And what new elements or innovations are being introduced in this year's edition at Jaipur?
So yeah, so there are multiple things. We realize that we need to connect with the youth. We need to futurelize with India's youth. So we brought
Absolutely.
Comic Con first time ever to Jaipur. So we partnered with them. So we will have animation, graphics,
Mm.
all these kids doing so many AI related creative stuff. So we have
Yeah.
the ABGC XR totally embedded
Mm.
Comic Con Jaipur happening right during the festival to get the young youth interested in technology and startups, and especially with AI's advent, we can actually have everyone become a creative person. That's
Mm.
one new thing that's being done this year. We're also trying to integrate because AI is going to disrupt the media sector, whether it's filmmaking, whether it's
Yeah.
advertisement, whether it's marketing. So we have a food film festival happening here with short films and feature films showing technology or showing
Mm.
how creativity and technology can blend, because there's a debate going on where whether AI will kill creativity or not. But I think there is a
Mm.
marriage that needs to happen, not a
Yeah.
competition that needs to happen. So we
Mm.
have a film festival. We also wanting to encourage, gaming is a very big sector, and real-time gaming. So we'd have a game jam
Mm.
scenario. Obviously, AI has been at the core of everything that the world is doing right now. The India AI Mission Summit in 19th and 20th of February in Delhi. So we have a curtain raiser in Jaipur, and we have at
Mm.
least 20 expert AI speakers coming from across the world
Mm.
speaking. Also, every sector, other sector, we have AI, whether it's healthcare, whether it's
Mm.
fintech, whether it's agri-tech. We have made sure that AI element is being seen in that. So I
Mm.
think those are the new things that we have tried to do. And
Very
also,
interesting.
lastly,
Yeah.
we don't want too many halls, too many parallel sessions. We've contained three at the most at any given time. And so
Mm.
we are working on quality over quantity so that people can take back a quality
Absolutely.
experience, rather than having to be choosing where to go, what to do, or where to get running around.
Mm. Amazing. And my last question for you, and this is for the many, many, many young people who will listen to our conversation. How can a young entrepreneur best leverage Ty's network, mentors, and resources?
See, one, you have to believe in an
Correct.
in organization's intent and their members' intent. Once you believe that,
Mm.
secondly, you have to make yourselves available. Nothing will come home.
Absolutely.
Nothing will come because you are a member or you've registered for an event. You
Yeah.
have to reach out. You have to have your eyes, ears, mind open to what people are saying rather than
Mm.
being closed about it.
Yeah.
Be courteous and forthright enough to meet people,
Mm.
to ask the right questions, to listen to others' questions and the answers, to listen to what other peers of yours who are
Mm.
pitching or who are meeting people or conducting what they are doing. So it's very critical to do all of that. And
Mm.
if you are coming with an open mind, with questions in mind, wanting to just choose the right people that you want to meet, I think Thai Global Summit has a lot to
Mm.
offer, not
Mm.
only in terms of what's going on in the sessions, but
Yeah.
off session meetings, off session learnings, observing other startups,
Mm.
meeting other co founders, and learning from their experiences. So I think all of that is
Mm.
very, very important. It's
Absolutely.
just how much, it's not what someone tells you, it's how much you can take in, is what is
Correct.
more important.
Well said. And on that note, Mahavir, just want to say what a fascinating conversation this one has been. Thank you for talking to me about your journey, some of your thoughts. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on early stage investing. And of course, this big event that's coming up in Jaipur, the Thai Global Summit. Uh, Good luck for the summit. I wish I was there. Unfortunately, I'm going to be traveling, but I would have loved to attend. Thank you again, and good luck to you.
Thank you so much, Ashutosh. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you for listening to the brand called You Videocast and Podcast, a platform that brings you knowledge, experience, and wisdom of hundreds of successful individuals from around the world. Do visit our website www.tbcy.in to watch and listen to the stories of many more individuals. You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search for the brand called You.